Welcome to episode 25 of the Action Toon Bros. I am Matthew Lewis.
This is Ben Sturgeon.
And today we are doing Young Justice Season 3, 10 through 13.
Oh my goodness, these 4 episodes.
Yeah, I was
I know, every single episode for Season 3, it's just something like, oh, these episodes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But this time,
this is a very weird set of episodes on our part.
So strap yourself in, boys and girls, and anything in between.
Okay, yeah, let's get going with episode 10, Exceptional Human Beings.
And we start off here
on the Batwing.
Yeah, on the Batwing.
Flying into Santa Prisca.
Where we see Batman with someone you mentioned last episode.
Yeah, Castag, Metamorpho.
Good old Metamorpho and Katana.
And they are communicating with Oracle, who tells them all to be quiet, especially Metamorpho, who gets a little sassy look on his face.
Right. I noticed his usual thing is, being like
he's
all
very silly and
But in this episode, he literally barely gets any talking.
He can't talk the whole episode. But we end with "Welcome to the Jungle" as they jump down into
what was it, like a covert op mission?
Yeah, it's a little stealthy. This is you get the intro cutscene thing with the whole crazy apocalypse Earth situation.
Yep, and then we started out in Detroit where we see that good old Silas Stone.
Before Detroit, we see Metamorpho catching everybody with his stretching powers.
Oh yeah, it does show a little bit more of that.
And then Batman signals for them silently to split up as he says, "You two stick together, I'm going to go do another part of the mission."
Yep.
And then we got back to Detroit with Silas Stone.
Then now we go with Silas Stone where he's working on his thing, and all of a sudden we get a call from his son, Victor.
Yeah, Vic.
And all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, I got a big football game.
Yeah,
a lot of sponsor guys gonna be there."
And he's like, "Yeah, whatever, kid."
pretty much. He's like,
he's very dismissive. We see that he contacts Steel about the...
Steel contacts him.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, but either way, Steel.
That he's trying to get from him. And he says, "Oh, the father box is pure evil." And then Silas is like, "Come on, you're a doctor."
It's technology. Technology only does what it's programmed. And even Steel's just like... just be careful,
you don't get what this is, but okay, dude.
Yeah, well,
we see the mysterious reach device from the last heist episodes is still sparking.
I was gonna say very important, still sparking,
still being very weird.
But then we're gonna cut to Happy Harbor.
Yeah. Oh, wait. After about the reach device, they go back to Santa. Wait, do you want to Prisca for a second?
No, you're right, because it shows more of
Katana and Metamorpho,
and Metamorpho goes into a gas where it smells bad. He's just like, oh.
Yeah, some ninjas think that they farted and it's because Metamorpho tricked them.
Yeah,
he distracts him with a fart cloud.
For those of you who don't know Metamorpho, literally all he is he can literally shapeshift into any object or even some mud in the ground and stuff.
Yeah, different elements as liquid or
he's kind
gas.
He's kind of virtually immortal because we see him turn into a mud pile. Someone steps on him and when he comes back, he does have a footprint. But he just literally, in a comedic way, just the whole thumb in his mouth, inhales, and then boom, kind of thing. And
he just reinflates and he's perfectly fine. He's a very, very versatile character.
Yeah, indeed.
But we see the training... we see they cross a training ground and he transforms into a dumpster. He turns into a weird poop-like puddle. But then, listen, we finally go back to Happy Harbor.
Now we go back to Happy Harbor.
McGann and Connor having some sexy fun times in the shower.
Right, you're right.
Arguing about him being back in the game and just saying oh, yeah.
Oh, no, it wasn't even that. It was more just a couples being couples. What are your plans today kind of thing. Yeah, but anyway,
exactly.
We don't need to get into that.
But this we see Dick training the newbies at the Owings Mill still.
Yep.
Forager is regrowing his shell, even though it's completely not bad.
Slowly, but you can still see he's got the naked pink kind of color. But you do see things of it. Geoforce is very improving very much. Even Dick lets him know about that.
And he has some more flirty moments with Violet.
What?
Yeah, I know.
You mean he and Violet might be a?
Didn't they already kiss before?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
He's just had some interest in her.
Yeah, they're just having that. But then Forager still being goofy. Jason Jefferson are looking and saying "Oh man, they're doing great." And then when Jefferson brings up that she referred to them as her kids, and she's like, "What are you talking about?" "Oh, you said that they were your kids." He's like, "Oh yeah, I feel very protective of them."
And he's like, "Don't worry, we all are." And they kind of. I'm still weirded out because everything you tell me and everything I'm seeing
is bad.
Very, very contradicting.
Well,
seeing Jefferson and her as a couple. I mean, don't get me wrong. I kind of like it because same. But it's just...
There's about to say, later in this batch of episodes, there is a moment where I'm like, yeah, she's probably up to something, but we'll get to that.
Anyway, yeah, we'll get there. But then
back
we
on
cut
Santa
back
Prisca.
where we see another like training going on with like a few of the League people, and we see Lady Shiva.
Shiva's training some ninjas.
Shiva or Shiva?
Shiva,
okay.
She is training some recruits, and this is when over the mic Oracle says that she's supposedly the most dangerous woman on the planet.
Yeah, this is where we find out at least a little bit about how she's actually dangerous. And it's like, yeah, steer clear. Don't go near her. She's deadly.
Yeah, and this is when we see a helicopter land, and she dismisses all the ninjas she's training except for one female ninja.
Except for one female, and she's just like, you come with me.
Yep.
And Oracle's just like, you know what? Scratch that. Follow her, but at a very safe distance.
Yep, and as they continue, they find an enormous stone structure in the woods.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's right, because she's like, okay, that's new.
Yep, and of course, Batman's already on top of it.
Of course.
When they go first find it.
Do we actually get to the helicopter at this point, or does it cut?
Yeah, I think we see it landing, and we see Bruce looking at it, seeing it land, but then we go back to
Owens.
Geoforce continuing to get beat by Dick in training. And he continues to get more and more angry about training and not going after Tara. He's like, "Come on, let's go to my sister."
And of course, I'm sorry, this moment right here made me laugh.
Yeah.
Because, Dick's like, who said we're not already doing it?
Yeah.
Be patient. Trust me. And of course, Geoforce is mad because Dick is keeping him in the dark. I'm like, Dick, didn't you learn anything from season 2?
Yeah.
Don't keep people in the dark.
I think, he vaguely hints that there's might be a mission going on right now to deal with it, so shut up, dude. But back on Santa Prisca, Slade exits the helicopter and meets Shiva.
Now, this moment,
yeah,
I don't like Slade very well. He's very talking. He seems more silly than normal.
I don't think silly, but he's usually pretty. He's still fairly serious.
Yeah, well, I know. It's just like when I see Deathstroke, when I see Slade, he's not very talkative.
Yeah.
At all. But then again, I do understand the situation because he's just like, hey, how's everything going?
Checking up with her, and it's just the two of them, and also he's technically high up, actually in the light. She's the enforcer, like him and Sportsmaster were before.
Right, we also find out that Deathstroke now runs the League of Shadows.
Yeah, he runs the league, and she works for the.
Yep, she's the sensei.
She's the sensei for the training.
I guess when it comes to League of Shadows, I guess sensei is second in command or something.
Yeah, I guess that would be the case.
But either way, yeah. So he's just like, hey, how's everything going? And we find out that one ninja that joined Lady Shiva is Cassandra
Savage once again, and she asks what happened to Cassandra asks them what happened to Tara, and they say, well, she washed out, so we had to send her somewhere else. Batman's listening into this whole conversation. But they say that Granny has a use for her. And
it's Granny has a use for her.
What would that be?
That's important. But anyway, and
and then Slade tells Cassandra not to get attached, and
she's like, trust me, I get that. And she's dismissed, and
they discuss she's the boss's kid. How's she in training? And Shiva's like, she's actually pretty good. She's
she's good.
Doing.
And of course, Shiva also is like, please. I was told not to give her any special treatment.
Yep, even though she's the boss's kid.
Yep.
This is when Batman is growing slightly concerned at what he is hearing.
Definitely, yeah.
But this is when we go to Hayward High School. Two jocks from Cyborg's comic are discussing superpowers and who would you, what was it?
Well, if you woke up with superpowers, what would you do?
No, who? He says who, what would you do?
You're right.
They're discussing what that
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, one of them likes Wonder Woman, one of them likes Black Canary.
The discussion they have is Black Canary versus Wonder Woman. They're like, hey Vic, what do you think? He's like, dude, focus on the game, will ya?
Come on, quit stupid.
Who's the kid?
Cisco Ramon, aka Vibe.
Okay, so someone I don't know.
Yep, also very, very, very major in the CW shows Vibe is, but also old school 80s breakdance and a weird superhero with vibration powers.
Knowing what you just told me about who he becomes makes this scene funnier because it's because as they're arguing, he's like, yo, I'd go for Zatanna if I were a superhero, and the two jocks pick on him because you be a superhero.
Yeah, and they push him around. It's very silly. And Vic's just like, whatever. He ignores it and walks past. Back on the island.
Yeah, we do go back on the island.
Yeah, the team is meeting up on a boat.
They have to meet on a boat before it leaves?
Shipping Venom, apparently.
Yep. And then Batman gets there, and all of a sudden you hear, Buenos noches, Batman. I'm like, Oh no!
Of course, it's Bane. He's waiting for Batman the whole time. He's like, no one gets past me, and then Batman's like, well, except for the entire team.
Yeah,
and
except for this, and then Bane just gets mad.
It's very, very funny.
Back at Star City.
Yep.
Star City.
Bane mentions that he is no longer on Venom. This is a running comic thing. Sometimes he's completely off of it, and he's still a very capable
I thought
fighter.
that was later on. Actually,
No, he says now. He's like, oh, I don't need it. I'm clean.
Yep. Yeah. He actually in this universe, I've known him in the animated series where he still uses it, and in Batman Beyond, where he is dependent on it.
Yeah.
I've never actually seen this moment where
in
he's
the comics,
nope, I don't have it, I'm
Secret
clean
Six and
now.
stuff, he gets off of it sometimes, and it's a cool moment.
Right.
But
anyway,
Star City.
now we go to Star City, where Artemis and Will and everyone are sitting at the table, including Violet.
Yeah.
And Artemis is wanting to put Violet in high school.
They're trying to enroll her, and they need a name. She
chooses
offers Croc, and they're like, no, thank you.
But don't forget, Violet first wants to be called Violet Ice Cream.
Yeah. It's just,
but then Will's just like, hey, just use Harper. I mean, why not? And then it's like Violet Harper, and that's what they go for. So now her, I guess this would be her real alias, her other alias.
Yeah, this is her civilian name.
Yeah, her civilian name is now Violet Harper.
Yep. Will gets up and he says, excuse me, goes outside, and we see Cheshire.
No, we see Jade.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
And
she's still ninja hiding.
Anyway, we see Cheshire's just like kind of sitting up on a tree looking at her daughter, and Will's just like, hey, it's a lot warmer inside. Come on, come in, see your daughter.
And she's like, no, I can't see my baby like this. I must go. And then she disappears into the shadows.
She pretty much says goodbye, and Will's just like trying to convince her, the whole like, I need you, no you don't kind of thing, which I don't know. And this one kind of made me feel really sad because they really did have some kind of chemistry together.
Yeah, she could get out if she wanted. I think she could, but she just doesn't want to because of all the people she's tied to. But
and even she
was still very sad
about it.
Yeah. But still, back at Santa Prisca, Bane and Batman continue their fight as Metamorpho and Katana arrive to help.
But at the same time, Deathstroke and Lady Shiva appear too.
Slade starts shooting at them. Shiva takes Katana to test their swords against one another.
Which one of the best things about like a little bit of knowledge in Katana, because I still don't know Katana very well except for the Suicide Squad.
Where she had like no lines and it's like very minor in background.
Seriously. But we find out from Lady Shiva that she's like, oh, I'm the better swordswoman, but your Soul Taker is the best sword.
Yeah.
I'm like, so obviously Katana's sword is really important.
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah, you remember that it holds the souls of the dead, including her ex-husband. Or not,
I've only
her dead
seen,
husband, not ex-husband.
The one time I've seen her was Suicide Squad. I've only seen that movie once.
They mentioned it like earlier, but offhandedly, but she never uses it in that way. But
that was the years ago, like when it first came out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Deathstroke has his hands full with a bulletproof and sword-proof Metamorpho.
Right, like bulletproof. That's annoying.
Yeah, and he's also sword-proof because he turns into gas. He's just like, okay, well, explosives, and it just turns him into his like more monstrous form, but he's perfectly still fine of capable.
Right.
He tries to stab him, it breaks the sword because he's like that difficult.
So long story short, the whole boat idea is not going to work. So Oracle's like, okay, fine, let's make a distraction, and just has like the ship just like shoot everything, and Bane's like all upset because his guns.
Yeah, my guns. Also, we but for a quick moment in the fight, like when they switch partners, it's really funny because like Metamorpho is just so powerful compared to them.
He really is.
But this one he cut back to the game. Vic does great in the game, and everyone's just like, yeah, booyah, including the original Cyborg voice actor who does the 10 people in the show. But like a bunch of people are like, yeah, booyah, booyah. It's like catchphrase of the team. It's very funny.
And then we get a guy.
Oh, Vic checks his phone, and his dad didn't even call him.
No call or anything.
He's that terrible.
And then we get this random guy named Bashford.
Yep, and if you couldn't just assume, he's from Metropolis U, you could assume he's another Superman bully character who, when Clark was in school.
I had a feeling he had something like that. Didn't want to assume, though.
You could easily assume, but yeah, he's there for scouting him, and he says, man, there's great things in your future, as we see Silas getting the father box.
from one of the Green Lanterns.
Yep, it's Hal Jordan.
That's right, it is Hal. But either way, so we see him getting a father box, ends on like a dun 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 kind of moment, and the first episode on this ends.
Yeah, that was a very interesting episode. Now, given the name of the episode, Exceptional Human Beings, and some of the people we saw in the episode, who's your favorite human, normal, not meta or alien character in DC stuff?
Do I really have to say this?
If you say Batman, I'm gonna throw my phone at you, but you can say whatever you want.
Wait. Are you serious right now?
Who? I can guess.
Victor?
I said regular human.
He's regular human.
He becomes cyborg. He's not that impressive now.
He's impressive. Anyway, so regular human, honestly, not gonna lie, unless she does have some kind of superpowers, Katana.
Katana is great. Well, her sword's technically magic.
Yeah, but she's not.
Yeah, sure. She's just good.
She's not. She knows just how to use it very well.
I'm surprised you didn't say Slade.
Oh, you meant villain as well. I thought you meant hero.
Any character. Yeah.
Well, now that I know I can do villain, then yes, a tie between Slade and Lady Shiva. Actually,
Lady Shiva's fantastic.
Yeah, dude. Like, this is the first time I've seen that I remember that I've seen Lady Shiva, and yeah, she's definitely a force to be reckoned with.
She was very cool. She killed an Atlantean easily. It was great.
Killed an Atlantean with ease, just like cutting off his head.
Yeah, it was very cool.
But anyway, what about you?
Probably.
Let's say Batman or something.
Oh yeah, right.
At you.
Yeah, right. No, like probably some Bat Family character like Batwoman. I absolutely love her. Comics are amazing. But Renee Montoya as the Question, I absolutely love it.
Wait, what?
You haven't read 52 yet?
I haven't gotten that far, at least.
Well, spoiler alert. Her whole story in that is her with Vic Sage, the original Question, them solving the mystery of the Bialia and the very huge animal cult and all that stuff going on. She was with him the entire time, and at the end she takes up the mantle as the Question.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, that's right. The Question is technically just a person.
It's a human, yeah. Just with a plastic mask on his face.
Right, and he's actually like super intelligent.
Yeah, he's very, very cool.
Yeah, no. Like I was remembering like the original Question, like in
that amazing
Ultimate.
episode in Ultimate. Yeah, those amazing episodes with him.
Right.
Everything with him was fantastic.
It was.
He's as good in 52. I'll tell you, he's amazing.
And also the fact of his voice actor.
Oh yeah,
Hubert West.
Yeah,
you were the one who was like, hey, look at this. Did you know it's so and so? I'm like, who? Hubert West?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
He's in a ton of Lovecraft stuff too. He was in not Mathematics. Well, he is in a ton of them. But
anyway, but either way, yeah, we're getting off topic.
The Question is my favorite regular human. If it's Renee Montoya or Vic Sage,
yeah.
But speaking of regular humans, in contrast, we have episode 11, Another Freak.
So, this is an episode that I'm going to get accustomed to.
Oh, yeah. It starts off at Star Labs, Detroit. Once again, Silas is working on the father box when an angry Vic bursts in and starts screaming at his dad about being a terrible father.
Screaming at him and how he's a terrible father.
Yeah,
and then we see Silas is actually a terrible father.
Yeah, he's just like Vic, shut up with your dumb foosball. Hey, if you got your grades good, Dad, I have like a perfect score, but GPA.
I have a perfect GPA. It's like, yes, and I'm not going to talk to you because you're being unreasonable. It's like,
yeah, it's insane.
Silas, you're
absolutely awful.
And of course, this is when Vic's like, you know what? Fine. I'm out.
Yeah.
And of course, his dad tries to be like, oh, no, like,
come on,
don't.
Son,
Oh, hey, by the way, did you remember that time when we said that the thing was sparking? Thing was sparking? Well, this is where it comes to fruition because Vic opens the door, the little cord that's plugged into it, pulls, it starts sparking even more than usual, and all Vic does is turn around and goes, Dad? And then explosion.
Boom. The whole thing blows up, and that is when we hit that intro. Yeah. I'm like, oh no,
what?
Vic still is dead.
Wait, what you're telling me is that one tiny little thing that you kept wanting us to point out was important?
Yeah, man. Look, could that ever happen? And I don't even know.
But that's when we get the intro card right there.
Cut back to Happy Harbor. Forager Cell is now about half back.
Yep. And Breon is still checking that smartphone.
Yep, just not leaving his phone at any opportunity.
And of course, Forager, being Forager, is just like, why does Geoforce check his phone all the time? And Breon's like, maybe you should mind your own business.
Yep, it is when Tigress and Halo arrive via Zeta Tube, and they are very hyped for school.
Yep, they are. And of course, Violet introduces herself as Violet Harper.
Yep.
And she reveals to Forager, because Forager is still Forager.
Yeah.
Like, no, I actually gave you a human name that I thought you would enjoy. Your name is
Fred Bug with 2 G's.
Yep, Fred Bug with 2 G's.
Fred Bug with 2 G's.
By the way, the 2 G's is important.
Yeah, Fred Bug with 2 G's is happy about Fred Bug with 2 G's. He's gonna say it 1,000 times this episode. It's insane.
Oh my goodness, yes,
but
he is.
He gets the Zatanna charm, which makes him appear as a regular human.
Glamour charm, just like Artemis had in season 2.
Yeah, Breon is like, she says, you meet all kinds, Violet's happy. You're like, you meet all kinds of new boys and girls, and then Breon's like, you should avoid boys. They only have one thing on their mind, and everyone's
what is that? And I like it because Violet's just like, what's that? And Brion just is like...
Shuts up, and then McGann, Council McGann, is just like, oh, we'll talk about that
and
later.
Principal Lucas Carr.
Yep, they're like, come on, let's go. And then Violet has a really funny line, which is like, wow, we're going to be super popular when we show up with the student counselor and the principal.
Right? Oh, Lord.
But
then we go back to Star Labs. More serious moment.
Yep.
Where
scientists and guards try to help Silas.
Yep. And Silas is unharmed. Yep. But then he's like, where's my son? And they remove... Oh boy! Like remember how every time we talk about how they take a lot of liberties.
Oh yeah.
We actually see like they find Victor. They remove all the debris from his body, literally like from more than half of his chest up to like the side of his face. You see the beating heart and everything like that.
Exposed skeleton, and it is very brutal.
Like I thought they were just gonna do the thing like where it's like, oh, it's too gruesome to ever show. Nope, they show it.
Yeah, he's like still alive and like gagging, and he's like literally half his skeleton's exposed. It's
and they're
insane.
like, and of course, someone's like, he needs to go to a hospital. Another doctor's like, he's not gonna make it.
Yeah, you can't even move him.
And then of course, that's
Silas
when
is like, no, I have an idea. He says, he mentions again that Steele mentions that they use the Father Box to heal their parademons and their technology.
Yep, and so he starts putting the Father Box on Victor, and it kind of like wraps around him and everything, and makes like
it grabs some metal pipes and
it makes like a healing tank kind of.
It makes a gigantic, weird, like iron lung looking thing that we don't know, and he says, "Oh, I can't lose Vic." This is when he goes back to school with Fred Bug with 2 G's and Violet. Meet the class.
Yep, meet the class, and everyone's just like, oh, sorry. Violet's all like, I feel kind of weird. Like, I feel ill. Like, she says that out loud.
Yeah, Fred Bug with 2 G's is just like, oh, Fred Bug with 2 G's is very happy to have this hive. Fred Bug with 2 G's has never had a hive like this.
Still talking like Forager would. And then as they're sat down and, people are like, wow,
what a real couple of freaks. It's really funny.
We see a new character, some kind of punk-looking girl by the name
I thought it was Livewire for a second. I was like, wait, is that Livewire in regular outfit? Like, why is she at this school right now? And it's like, no, it's actually Harper Row.
Harper Row, which I have no idea who it is.
She is a comic character.
Okay, she's a comic character. And then, of course... as they're sitting down, Harper, introduces herself to Violet and Fred Bug with 2 G's.
Yeah, and they have a very who's on firstian, like very long, drawn out, funny joke about her first name being Harper and Violet's last name being Harper, and them not being able to communicate that. It's very funny.
But Harper is just like, I like these guys.
Yeah, you guys are very cool and very goofy, and I'm punk, and it's gonna be great.
And then we go back to Star Labs, where
the scientists don't pick up any life signs from Vic inside the weird giant
they did
machine.
like EKG and stuff like that, and nothing's picking up yet.
Yeah, but Silas wants to keep going, even though they keep saying no, it's not going to work. And this is when the Father Box forms Vic's cyborg body.
Yep, cyborg-like parts of his body.
Yep, and they start seeing life signs once again, and are shocked.
And then we go back to
Happy Harbor.
Happy Harbor. I was gonna say the cat residence, but it's not actually.
Really, it's Cars technically.
Yeah, I know. I know it's Cars. Anyway, Connor's like, "Yep, I restored this motorcycle, and so I'm gonna do my thing."
Brion's like, "Why did you even do that? You could practically fly, and you have the super cycle." And he's like, "Well, I like doing it." And
I like doing it. And Brion's
that's dumb. Brion's on his phone. He's just like, "Well, don't bruise your phone. Don't bruise your thumbs, Brion."
Yeah, don't bruise your thumbs. Drives away, and then Brion goes to the boom tube, looking up some information where he gets access denied.
Yeah, he keeps trying to log in, searching for Tara, searching for Markovia, searching for all kinds of stuff, and he's unable to use it.
And then he gets locked out, and as if on cue, Dick shows up. He's like, "Hey, you looking for something?"
Okay, we found some information about your sister, kinda.
Yeah, we got good news. She was on Santa Prisca.
Yep.
Yeah, and what's the bad news? She got moved. We could have saved her.
Yeah, you made me wait, and now we lost her. And then he's just like, "Hey, Patience, I told you we're gonna find her."
Yeah, and then Brion's like, "What's with this Patience? If it wasn't Patience that saved, this," and he like brings up a whole lot of other things.
And Dick's like, "Whatever, calm down." He turns away, and then he's like, "Don't turn your back on me." He tries to attack him, and this is when Dick just like beats him easily and says, "What do you think you're doing? Come on, you gotta be serious. You're just like always on your phone. You're not paying attention to the world. Is this even about your sister? Do you just want to get back to Markovia?"
Yeah, he pretty much gives him like a look at yourself kind of thing. He's like, "Look, are you doing this to actually save your sister, or are you doing this because of you?"
Yeah, you're looking at your past.
Brion legitimately just is like, "Oh,
yeah,
oh." So then we go back to
Vic finally leaves the giant machine and falls into Silas.
Yep.
This is when we cut back to Fred Bug with 2 G's and a still sick Violet trying to eat because no one wanted to eat with them inside the classroom.
Ominousness happens because the clouds are starting to form and it's starting to get rainy and stormy.
Yep, Ro tells him, hey, those kids all suck, they're all cliches, come eat with me, I'm cool.
Yeah, I'm cool, you're cool, let's hang out together.
Yep, they begin eating on the bleachers where
Fred Bug with
still
2 G's accidentally like picks up the
and
sandwich.
we see they're just invisible and he tries to eat with 2 hands, which is very funny. She's like, oh,
Right.
2 hands only.
But then...
Violet continues to be very sick for some reason.
Yep.
Silas talks to Vic about the explosion and the father box. Vic freaks out. He's like, what are you talking about? He starts to glowing purple and he
glows
tries
purple
to
in his eye and tries
kill
to
Silas.
no, tries to kill everybody.
No, he's
Silas.
like just going for Silas. He's like throwing the guards around, grabbing them by their necks, but he's really trying to kill Silas specifically. It's really cool.
And at this time, we see Violet is definitely like.
Oh, we
not
see
good.
Ro is after lunch. Ro's going back to her class. Fred Bug with 2 G's says, "Oh, hey, where's Violet at?" And they find her under the bleachers, like debilitatingly sick. And she turns indigo for the first time.
Yep, we get a new color, indigo. And what does it do, Matt?
She makes a boom tube and goes through it, leaving Fred Bug with 2 G's behind.
Okay.
Also, at some point, they told him, right before this, Harper told Fred Bug with 2 G's he doesn't need to say what
he doesn't need to say. Oh, and he goes from Fred Bug with 2 G's to Fred Bug with 2 optional G's.
Yeah, it's very ridiculous.
But anyway... So
she goes through the boom tube.
She goes and she's like, yeah, I love these guys.
Yeah, but Violet goes through the boom tube and is in the lab where a very angry father box controlled cyborg attacks her, calling her an abomination.
Yep, just instantly. And of course, before we actually get to her in the lab and her confused as to why she's in the lab, Fred Bug. I'm just gonna stop with the 2 G's thing. Fred Bug goes to tell McGann.
Yep, he says, I like to go tell McGann about this. Inside the lab, while they're trying to fight, they fight for a long time.
And of course, Violet's using her Halo powers. But then something different happens when she turns indigo.
Yep, she starts speaking a strange, likely apocalyptic language and turns the father box angry mode off. Vic once again has control and is very happy.
Very happy. And one of the things that I was happy about was he noticed it too. Like it wasn't like an on-off switch where he's like, huh, where am I? What happened? No, he was just like, ugh, I feel less murdery now.
Yep, and
he's aware of it.
Can you get these robot parts off of me? I want to be human again. She's like, sorry, I can't do that.
Yeah, I can't do that. Actually, let's be honest, I don't even know how I did what I just did.
Yeah, this is when Silas explains what the father box was and what it did to them, and it's a very emotional scene.
And of course, Vic's like, hey, I'm going to go with you, lady.
Yeah, Vic says,
like,
you ruined my life. He said, like, the anger was the father, not the anger. Yeah, the violence in trying to kill you was the father box. The actual anger is all me. I'm really still pissed at you.
Yeah, and he's like, no, don't go with stranger. And then Vic just leaves.
Yep.
And then, of course, as they're going through the boom tube, Fred Bug shows McGann where it is, like what happened, where it was,
with McGann
and
at the high
then
school.
enter boom tube, where you see
Vic stands contemplatively at a goalpost in the rain, and Violet's saying, "I think we have another freak we need to deal with."
Oh yeah, and by the way, one of the things that Harper Row was telling Fred Bug and stuff was they're freaks, but that's a good thing. You know? It's good to be a little freaky, and so Violet takes that as a compliment, and so with the now soon-to-be cyborg, Victor, is like, not very happy with this whole, he has robots on his arms, but Violet's just like, you're a freak, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's
like,
wonderful. Yeah, and this is when back in Mount Justice, Brion finally turns off his phone and sits with Dick on the beach.
And of course he says like, it's like, are we good?
Yeah,
and of course Brion's like, we are. And he's like, but now what about you? And Brion's just like, yeah, moving forward, I will be. I'm just like, yay!
Finally getting a little less crappy Brion, and the ending picture is a weird Lobo's thumb with some little bumps on it.
Yeah, it's like a puffed up, like,
it looks weird.
Out, it's like, ugh.
Anyway, that is the end of that episode. It was a very interesting one. I was hoping we'd get more of the dumb high school shenanigans, because that's always an interesting
honestly, I was the opposite, because... Like, even with, like, the Spider-Man movies and stuff like that, I don't like the zany high school drama kind of thing.
I loved X-Men Evolution.
There are exceptions, obviously, because X-Men Evolution was great.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just, I don't know, sometimes I just don't like that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But so I was glad that this one had that even balance of, high school shenanigans and Victor.
I would have liked to see that in the original. When we saw the Gotham Academy that had Dick and Barbara and Betty Kane and Artemis at it, I would have loved to have seen what other future Gotham baddies and good guys would be
baddies
there.
And goodies.
Yeah, that would have been a great thing to see. And also, we know that Wally went to school by himself, and the others all didn't really go to school because they were either aliens or weirdos. But I would have loved to have seen more of the bigger team interacting normal outside of their. I always love outside of costume stuff.
In season 2, we saw Bumblebee and Mal.
Yeah, they're
a little bit, but we.
I was gonna say Herbo University work and Mal being a bad boyfriend.
And we also got to see Jaime.
Yeah.
School.
Yeah, we got a little bit of that. That was really appreciated, though.
But you're right. I mean, they could do a little bit more of them in their normal lives.
Yeah, I love out of costume stuff for superhero shows and movies and those stuff. It's always very interesting to me. Yeah. But I'm curious. I doubt we're gonna see much more of Harper in them because I can't imagine. I think in comics she's not a super character. She's just a regular, a person. I'm not really sure. I'm not gonna put anything down.
Either way, she's important because now she's gonna be the only friend that Fred Bug and Violet have.
Yeah, because they're a real couple of weirdos.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Speaking of real couple of weirdos, episode 12.
Nightmare Monkeys. Okay, hey, yo.
I like this one.
Yeah, no, I do too. Just want to give a little bit of a warning to these people out here. This is zany. This is silly.
Yeah.
This is, all in all, very lighthearted. But boy, is it covered in a hell of a darkness.
Yeah, I'm about to say, it is very not lighthearted.
Yeah, I'm saying it looks it, but
yeah.
it's just this one is way dark.
Oh,
so,
opens
how
on
start us off?
Space Trek 3016.
Yep.
Some Clamulans have just attacked and killed the Commander and Commander Torque of Mars, a.k.a. Beast Boy, Greg Sipes, fan of the show.
Oh, no, sorry. When you were giving the synopsis of the TV show, I wanted you to give it just to realize how ridiculous it is. Some Clamulans.
Yeah, it was also our aliens with just clams for heads.
Yeah, literally. Funny. But, oh my gosh. But yeah, either way. So, we get some oh, you humans are always so weak. Oh, yeah? Well, you forget one thing. I'm not human.
Yeah, I'm Commander Torque from Mars. He turns into a gorilla and an elephant beats up the Clamulans and teleports back onto the ship where...
Oh, we get the biggest Star Trek moment ever. Even though I know this is Space Trek, but we get a very, famous Star Trek moment where Garfield's character looks at the captain and goes... Yeah. He's dead, Tom. He's dead, Tom. I'm like, oh, man.
Very funny. And also the captain is a very funny... it's the actor from Hello, Megan, but it's also... He's doing a very funny Captain Kirk impression.
Right.
Way he's delivering dialogue.
And then, of course, it zooms out and
it's a set on Burbank. And Garfield says he, was able to cry on cue because he has a lot of practice.
He has a lot of practice on that. And he's, kind of dismissive about that.
And that is when we hit that intro.
No. Not yet. Because he talks to Gretchen.
No, that's after.
That is after?
Yep, it's first he says, I have a lot of practice, then it cuts to the intro, then it cuts back, and it's Granny.
You're right. Yeah, we see Gretchen, a.k.a. Granny Goodness.
Telling them, hey, the dailies are looking great, and it's it's a handful, and she was very helpful with the casting, and it's just very putting the Hello Megan cast together. It's also a very funny joke of her saying, oh, the Hello Megan show was such a good inspiration. He's like, a good inspiration. It had one season, it was barely anything.
But the cast was great, everything, and, Gretchen, Granny Goodness is being, good. She's being a bit of a sweetheart. And of course, what was the thing she said about, the good company, good everything?
Yeah, the good products are trying to make a good name for themselves and just,
improve people's lives. What she say, Gretchen Goodness always knows or something like that?
I'm not sure what catchphrase was.
Because it was an important line I wanted to know, but I forgot it. Anyway.
Well, we learned that Paul, the actor who's playing the Kirk-like captain of the ship, is his godfather.
Yep.
And we learned that he accidentally calls Karak Greater Bialia, which is the bad new name for it. But
Karak.
Yeah, he's very pissed off because I'm sure everything that's happened with, and also Queen Bee is still in charge. Queen Bee literally killed his mother. So.
Right, yeah, it was a slip up. And we also get mention of a very important person because you were talking about Paul being the Godfather.
Yeah,
we get a name drop on his godmother, Rita Farr.
Yeah.
That's important later on.
Did they say her name yet, or did they just mention that?
They mentioned Rita.
Okay, this is when we see Steve Dayton arise, a.k.a. Mento, if you know Doom
Mento.
Patrol. We learn that he's also the producer of the show, and Beast Boy's stepfather.
And of course, Mento's voice.
Yeah, Garfield calls him Mento.
He's like, don't called me that.
Yep.
Will you be attending dinner?
Yeah, he says, no, I have a date. And then they both walk away and they say, oh, thank goodness.
God. They're both just like, oh, thank God.
It's very funny. Back in Happy Harbor, the team meets Vic and they explain everything that happened. Brione is already jealous in the background of Vic's closeness with Violet. It's very funny.
Well, her kind of forced
connection with him.
Yeah, right.
And Forager shows his true form to Vic, which he freaks out about, but it's very funny.
Yeah, like it's just like, oh, don't worry, you're not the only freak. Takes off the glamour charm and shows that his shell is coming along nicely.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Vic's just like, ah! It's like, so Forager did scare you. He's like, no, I just was thrown off.
It's fine.
Thrown off.
This is when they find. Oh, you're about to say?
No.
I was gonna say this is when they finally deduce that, given Violet's powers and everything, that she is likely based on the mother box in the Bedlam lab.
Oh yes, and we actually hear Helga talking about this because one of the context clues that we get was from episode, I think 2 or something like that, where Connor was walking in the children's hospital thing and sees a destroyed mother box. Sorry,
murdered.
a dead mother box.
Murdered
yes,
mother
murdered.
box specifically.
Well, dead, murdered. I mean, I just didn't want to say it was destroyed because it's more than an item.
Yeah, it's he mentions that they're living computers and they were obviously that has something to do with her powers back in the Bedlam lab. He says why Fate said that she has an old soul in the young body.
Yeah, Artemis mentioned that. And of course, she's like, yeah, they weren't just throwing away like useless metahumans. No, they thought she was actually dead.
Which she actually would have been, technically.
Yeah, she would have been dead. But Connor deduces that when the mother box was murdered, that the soul tried to leave and go into something else, which they think went into Violet.
Yep, and this is when Violet's very happy that she is not Gabrielle, as she told Jace, and Jace says both of their memories must have been wiped when they connected and fused together.
And yet, like, every once in a while, they have, like, some connecting things. Like, sometimes Gabrielle would have mother box memories and vice versa. And even Artemis is like, wow, you really did keep telling me you're not Gabrielle.
Yeah.
And she apologizes, but everything's fine.
Yeah, it's another cute little romantic moment between Violet and Brione again, but this is when Vic says, can someone explain what the heck is even happening here? And I still need help. I'm still...
because everyone's just like, we get it. And he's just like, newbie here. Yeah, what's going on?
This is insane. But this is when we cut back to Beverly Hills. Garfield is in a Luther Grand hotel waiting on Perdita to hit the clubs.
I'm not going to lie. When seeing now, like, them as a couple, my God, they're adorable.
They're both great.
Yeah, they really are. And of course, he finds out that Perdita actually bought some of those good goggles.
Before that, we see he was looking at a photo of his mom, Rita Farr, and him as a kid when he was human.
Right. Yeah, he's just looking, kind of like reminiscing and sad because of the earlier
everything with Mento and everything. But he spots the good goggles and he says they're a gift. And he asks Perdita if he could try them on.
And she's like, yeah, sure. And then, of course, he puts them on, and it's just like you would think. He plays his own game, where he gets to play as himself.
Yeah, the Space Trek game where he gets to play as Torque, his own character.
But something different happens than what we actually see. As he's putting on the goggles and playing a little bit, we see a teeny tiny little needle poke him, just like barely poke him. And, of course, it's such a light poke that he thought maybe he had an itch on his neck and he just like scratch, whatever.
Yep. And then when the inside of the good goggles glow red.
Yep, glow red and give him like subliminal messages saying like...
Oh, not yet. They just turn red for it
now. It just turns red now?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the harbor, they explain that... Violet was only able to mildly adjust Vic's mechanics, not completely erase the Father Box's programming.
And then of course... they were talking about her being Mother Box and something about Father Boxes. Yeah. Vic immediately is like, who said anything about Father?
Oh, no. Vic saying, like, I don't know all this crazy Mother Box and Father Box stuff, and then Connor like,
whoa. Connor, yeah. Connor's like, who said Father
you said
Box?
Father Box?
And then Super Cycle goes crazy and goes to attack Vic.
Yeah. Immediately knows that he's obviously evil and starts shooting lasers at him, and Vic turns purple again and turns evil. Starts shooting lasers back at Super Cycle.
And then, of course, Violet does the weird magic words to calm Vic's machine, and then she flies over to Super Cycle and is just like, it's okay. Super Cycle turns back the sphere, and it's like, everything's fine. And Connor's just like, yeah, even more reason to believe that she's a Mother Box.
And this is when Dick says that to keep cleansing him, she has to stay very close with Vic.
And, of course, Breon is not happy with this.
Yeah, Jefferson brings up Silas, and he's like, Jefferson's like, well, we should take him back to his dad. And Vic's like, no, I'm not going back to him. He did this to me, and I'm still pissed at him.
And of course, Jefferson's just like, yeah, be that as it may, he still knows a lot about this.
Yep, and this is when McGann and Connor are like, I guess we have another stray we're taking care of. They're always strapped with them. But this is when Beast Boy keeps playing the space game and begins to see the crazy, weird subliminal messages telling him to go to Encino, California.
Yep, and then of course, Perdita's like, hey, I'm ready for the club. And he's just like, I must go there.
Yeah,
I must go there. And he's like, and then we go inside his head.
Yeah, we see some glitches, and then he passes out.
Yeah, and then he passes out, and of course, Perdita is worried, as she should be.
But he wakes up on the set of Space Trek 3016,
where we see Captain Kid Flash?
Yeah.
Captain Wally West?
We see Ensign Aqua Girl, Tula. We see a Robin with very familiar hair, and Ted Cord.
We can just say who that Robin is, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's Jason Todd.
Yep,
it's Jason
Todd and also Blue Beetle.
Yep, and the original Ted Cord.
Second Blue Beetle, technically.
Oh, it's you're right. Either way, Ted Cord.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, of course, Beast Boys is like, yeah, this is Crash.
Yeah.
And then actually before that we go
back to Happy Harbor, and
where McGann's just like, hey.
Artemis has asked what the heck she was saying to the father box to make it show, because it was some kind of weird language. It's like, what are you talking about? I don't remember saying anything.
Right, and then of course McGann and Connor are just like, McGann's like, look, this is getting ridiculous. You know that, right? And even Connor's like, yeah, it was supposed to be a one-time thing with Dick, and now look what happened.
It's become a crazy. Their Fortress of Solitude has been completely ruined, but they know it can fix it. And she says date night, he says secret base. Yep. It's a very cute little scene of them not getting along. But back in the dream, the Calamulons attack.
Oh no!
They kill Aqua Girl Tula, and then they kill...
He's dead. He's dead, dork.
Torque.
It wasn't Torque? Yes! Honestly, it sounded like he said he's dead, dork.
Why would he call him a dork?
I don't know.
Anyway, he says he's dead, Torque, and then
someone else dies.
Yep, Ted Cord gets killed. He says
like,
he's dead,
Torque.
And then...
Jason Todd dies. And it's like, he's dead, Torque. So, who's it going to be next? You or me?
Yeah, and Wally says, oh, it's okay. They were already dead.
Yeah, right. But then Wally's just like, yeah, so is it going to be you or is it going to be me? Then you see a flashback of, Wally dying.
Yep, on the screen it shows.
Yeah, on the screen it shows all that. Even Artemis, being destroyed. It's just like, well, I guess it's me. And Q Random Monkey?
No, it's the monkey he had in the episode when they first met him.
Q Monkey?
And this is when Garfield's just like, I don't want to be here anymore. And this is when he turns into a little kid and runs off.
And the monkey's like, well then change the channel.
Yep.
Changes the channel and you see, and dude, this one made me happy. Well, kind of happy. Because you see the animation quality changes. And you see it's Doom Patrol Go.
Yeah,
yes, that's right. That's right.
R-O-L, Doom Patrol Go.
Yeah, and by the way, yes, the actual animation is as if it were Teen Titans Go.
Yep, but as we cut back out to Perdita in the real world trying to wake up an unconscious Garfield and unable to, as he's completely passed out. But we go back in, Doom Patrol Go.
Yep, and not only now, see, like I told you, kids. The animation style is exactly Teen Titans Go animation
and the voice
style.
actors are the Teen Titans voice actors
That was what I was getting at.
Yeah,
I was going to be like, not only that, but we see Rita Farr as Elastigirl.
Yeah.
And we see it was Negative Girl. Negative Woman.
Yep.
We see a Robot Man.
Yeah, Robot
Man.
Character.
And who was the guy in the wheelchair?
He's the doctor leader of the group. I forgot. I didn't write down his name.
The doctor. And by the way, Rita Farr, Elastigirl, is Starfire's voice actress. Yeah. Negative Woman is Raven. Robot, of course. Robot is Cyborgs.
And then the doctor is
Robin.
It's very funny.
I just thought, I'm like, what is going on?
It's so silly, and I absolutely love it.
And Beast Boy does look like Teen Titans Go Beast Boy,
yeah, and he's doing the same voice.
I know, right?
It's amazing.
It was crazy. It was good. And of course, it's like, hey, everything's going to be all right.
And also Mento's there.
And Mento's there.
Mento. They say, it's very dull moment with Rita saying, I'm sorry your mom died. Or she's like, I'm sorry about what happened to your mom. And everyone's like, sorry she died. It's very goofy.
Right. It's like, don't worry, I can be your new mom. Yeah, all right. all right, let's go and die.
Yeah, let's all go on a mission to die. And it's like, no, don't. And then they sing a song.
Yeah, they sing a song about it. And then how, like, come on, they have Doom in their name. Why wouldn't
it's literally the Teen Titans original like theme song intro, but they're saying about how they're Doom Patrol and they're
going on a mission. Like, he's going on a mission to die and all that. Dude, like I told you guys, it looks lighthearted. It's not.
It's very, very funny, but at the end, like, even though they're walking off, Robot Man, Cyborg's just like, we're not gonna make it. It's very funny.
And
but
of course,
then,
Gar's not very happy.
Yeah, he's very upset,
this.
but McGann pops up. I was gonna say, they used the same model from, you never watched Teen Titans Go, I assume?
No.
They had an episode where Young Justice were on that show, and they were, like, talking about how, like, everyone hates Teen Titans Go because they're not serious, like Young Justice was, and then, like, that's when they become super serious, that whole episode.
What?
But they actually have, like, Cal and Connor and McGann on that episode.
Wait. So that McGann was the one that they used
it's the literal same model as that McGann. It's very funny.
He I wouldn't say you liked it.
I've seen the show enough times to know that.
Okay, he's seen it enough. I don't watch it because I really don't want to watch that
Yeah, it's
show.
very funny. But it's very. She's so funny. She's like, "Hey, Garfield, even though both of your moms are dead, you can at least have your fake sister." And she's just like, "Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. I can." And then I was, but even better is
Then we see Minto like slinking in. He's like, "Hey, Minto, what are you doing? You didn't go on the mission." And he's just like, "No, I didn't. And
I'm cowering out."
Yeah, and I'm going to use my dubious parental rights to take you away from your sister.
And of course,
my TV show.
And then of course the monkey is just like, yeah, you could have made a decision on your own.
He's like, I was 14. I didn't know what I was doing. And it's like, well, too late now.
Well, too late now. Bye, McGann.
Yeah, it's a very crazy. Like, you also get, like, the whole deal. I'm trying to, like, deduce in my head, like, wait, so, like, the Doom Patrol did exist in this world, presumably, then, and also Rita Farr was a member, died on the mission, which is always what happens with Doom Patrol. It's a famous thing that happens. Presumably, I think it's the brain root, I guess. But, like, I was curious, like, yeah, so that would have happened sometime after season 2, but before this season it would have been, right?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it would have had to have been, because that's what actually, no, his mom was killed after season 1.
Yeah.
And then he had his powers in season 2. He would have gotten the rights. Mental would have gotten the rights during season 3 or before. It's like, well, but also, yeah, Doom Patrol happened. It's like really cool, like figuring out the backstory. But also, we'll talk about the end possibly, but like the hints about what happened with all those characters who died.
Yes.
Yeah,
but after all of this strange things, and of course, Gar's like, I just want this all to just turn off.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, the monkey's like, okay. It actually like stays the black for a little bit,
and then we see "Hello, Megan," and then it cuts back to something. Cuts back to the real world.
To Perdita's meeting with Connor and McGann. She's like, "Good, please. I didn't know what to do."
Yeah,
and of
she
course,
called the EMTs and them, and the EMTs were about to take him. Like, we need to take this green boy away, and then McGann's like, "That green boy's my brother." And she turns into her Martian form.
Yeah, it turns into her Martian form, and even Connor like picks up the EMTs and puts
it.
Thank
you guys for your duty. Bye.
Thanks for what you're doing, but we'll take it from here.
Yeah.
Oh, and we'll give you the gurney back in a little bit.
Yeah,
close
it's very, very cute. But she says she needs to go into his mind to help him, and inside we see "Hello, Megan." We see Rita, McGann, and TV Connor.
Yeah, TV
AKA
Connor.
Paul show up, and they don't know who the kid is. And McGann, like, Connor's like, "Do you know who this kid is?" And she's like, "No, I don't. Who is this?" And it's very funny, weird scene.
And even Rita was like, hey, it was like, hey, sorry, you're not in this episode.
Yeah.
And Megan like pulls out a beehive. And he's like, I got this, honey.
No, this is a very specific scene because it's very telling. They hear a knock at the door. Connor goes and opens it, and then he says, "Oh, it's Queen Bee."
Yep.
Megan, she wants her honey back, and then she pulls out the hive.
The hive, yeah.
Yeah, and this is when Garfield says, "No, you can't have her. No, you can't take her away from me again." And then this is when the monkey shows up once again, and the world turns into the waterfall where she crashed.
Yep. And then, of course, after that happens, Beast Boy's like, "Look, stop this already."
Yeah, it's like, "Stop it. I want it to stop.
I just want everything to stop." And then, of course, it fades to black.
And outside we see that his heart has stopped.
Yep. And this is when McGann actually starts trying to go into his mind.
Yeah, no, this is when, the monkey says he chose Beast Boy and he is the mystical monkey god. This is all related to how he got his powers. He's like, you really think that Martian blood would allow you to just turn into animals? And it's actually the Martian blood helped, but your ability was unlocked through being access to this monkey god. And it's like, I like the implications of the whole far-reaching. I'm pretty sure that's more his original origin for his powers, some kind of weird like monkey statue his mom found in the woods or something like that.
Right.
But like I like the whole like connection of like metagenes give people access to weird stuff like magic sometimes, and weird gods bless them and all kinds of stuff. It's like very high concept DC stretching power origins.
So it wasn't the blood that made him get the powers. Nope, it was the mystical monkey god.
Yep, with the Martian power giving a little bit of help, but also it sounds like Wally West because that's who Beast Boy chose to sound like.
Beast Boy's like, why do you sound like Wally? He's like, your brain wanted me to. He's like, wait, I'm just confused.
Yeah,
and either way, but the mystical monkey god's just like, hey, look, come on now. Hey,
I chose you because you're good and you need to fight this. And he's like, oh, you're right. And this is when, in his mind, he thinks it's his mom, but it's actually McGann coming to help him. He's like, it's my beautiful Martian sister, McGann.
And then, of course, she's like, I came to help you, but it seems like you didn't need my help. He's like, nah. It took me a while, but I'm good now.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Yep,
kind of
and
thing.
he finally wakes up, and this is when Beast Boy says he's figured it out.
Yep, he figured it all out, and he's like, I'll give you a briefing later, but I know this right here. Like he talks about the good goggles and how Gretchen Good is behind it. And now that Gretchen Good is one of the bad guys. Yeah,
and this is when he says, "I'm so glad." He says, "Like I'm feeling the Aster," and Perdita's like, "I'm not sure I understand." And then they start making out, and then McGann and Connor start making out.
Hey, and then we cut
to Brianna and Violet making out, and that's how the episode ends.
It ends out in nothing but a makeout session.
Yeah, a big makeout session all over the planet. But
Lordy.
that was a really good episode. When I first saw it,
it
was spoiled for me by the DC TV show app showed Teen Titans Go with the art style of that Beast Boy. I was like, oh, that's gonna happen at some point. That's a spoiler. I wish I didn't see that.
See, all I know is that when I was watching this, so many times I was just sitting there, raised eyebrow, jaw literally dropped like.
Yeah, it was so weird. I love this episode.
But yeah, it was really good. And not gonna lie, I like I said, I'm not really like all knowledgeable about these things. I actually never knew that about Beast Boy's powers. Like, I never knew he had like the mystical monkey god giving him the powers.
It's a change for different things, but I'm glad they actually kind of like addressed it though. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, so I like learning that's actually where his powers came from. That actually made me like. I'm like, okay, that's cool. It wasn't like, Martian abilities. No. He legitimately like. Something happened where a mystical monkey god was like, hey you, you.
I choose you as my champion.
Man, I choose you, Pikachu.
Yeah, it was very cool. But also, the mission with the Clamulons in Space Trek with all those characters dying. Do you think that they'll die in the same mission?
The
ones who all died are the ones who had the statues in Season 2. Because they had died on the mission before.
Oh.
And this is when I said Tula's death presumably was at the hands of Orm, resulting in him being in prison for 6 years.
Imprisoned, yeah.
And being kicked out of the light. I'm curious if that also is the Jason Todd origin for his death, or that the normal Joker thing happened where he was killed. Ted Kord, actually, you're right. They couldn't be the same incident. What do you mean, you're right? I'm the one pontificating all of this. Ted Kord was killed by the light in his lab, and the beetle being blown into Jaime. So Jason Todd could have probably been killed by that shitty Joker. Maybe I wonder. Oh no.
Well, see, here's the thing: the shitty Joker was not part of the light. He was part of the
fake Injustice gang.
The Injustice League. Yeah,
the fake one.
Which we already found out has broken up.
Yeah, I'm very curious what the hell the deal with that is, because like there are a lot of big people in that.
Yeah, wasn't Ra's al Ghul one of them? No. It was Black Adam,
Poison Ivy,
Poison Ivy, Joker,
and what's his name? Who's working
Atomic
for them?
Skull.
Yeah, that goddamn terrible Atomic Skull. Vertigo, who's working for the.
Yeah,
he's working for Bedlam now.
Yeah, so now he's working for Bedlam. So yeah, you're right. He's working for Bedlam now. So
I guess maybe they're working for Branchwater, like those cool Mist and all that gang. But like, I really like. I'm curious about like the origins of all those people, because we still don't know the Tula mission that she died on. Mm-hmm. We don't know Jason Todd, which we're assuming we already hypothesized that it's likely the Red Ninja. But then but yeah, we know how Ted Kord died and how Wally died. But like, yeah, it's very. I love that whole like. That's the whole like.
Right. Yeah. That was very interesting, and I was just happy because they brought in the Doom Patrol.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, like they brought in the Doom Patrol, although I kind of raised my eyebrow because the first time I knew the Doom Patrol was that one episode in regular Teen Titans where he actually got to team up with them.
Yeah, I think he already knew them at that point, and he was like, hey, Beast Boy, you're back. And he's like, my old team.
His old team, right. But in this one, it was more like, it was his old team, but it was also, some of them were his family.
Yeah, I was also going to say the Titans DC app show, which I think is pretty decent. Also, there's a Doom Patrol one, which is very, very goofy, but actually, I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I suggest anybody who's watch it because it's very funny, very funny. Brendan Fraser's Robot Man is fantastic.
Wait, say that again?
Brendan Fraser's Robot Man, he's hilarious.
After we're done recording, there's another voice actor where I had to say, like, who was that again? But we'll save that for after.
But I love this. That episode was very funny. I did not see that coming. But yeah, Doom Patrol is great. It was very, very good.
Yeah, but yeah, that episode, like I said, like, I thought it was going to be lighthearted because, nightmares and stuff like that. And, it's just like, this is just him going through his mind and stuff. Wow. It was a lot darker than I thought.
Yep. This is when we hit the final episode
of the day, which is True Heroes. So
Happy Harbor on Halloween.
Yep, on Halloween. Yay, another Halloween episode.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Where we see Brion and Violet and Fredbug and Victor are going to be going to the Halloween dance.
Yeah, Violet and Brion have just skull paint on them. It's very funny. Fredbug is going as
Forager.
And then Vic is like, ugh, I don't even want to go. I'm just going to wear a hood. I don't want to be at this happy
no. He's like, yeah, I don't have to wear a costume. No one needs to know who I am because I look like a freak.
Yeah, he's still very angry about everything. Dick shows up and says, cancel the dance. Brion, we're going on a mission to save your sister.
Yeah, they're like, literally, it's like, hey, Brion, you're not going to the dance. We're going to save your sister. He's like, he burns his paint up.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Violet's like, so am I. He's like, nope,
no.
You're gonna stay here with Victor in case he has another breakdown like that.
Yep, and she's very upset. Jace says she'll watch Vic and Violet. Brion is just like,
and he tells Jefferson to go with him. And so Jefferson goes, and Brion's like, I just want you to know. Dick's like, nope, no speeches, let's go.
Yeah, no time to tell, let's go. Brion tries to, so and this is when they say they leave on the bioship, which Forager is still really into, like, oh yeah, wow, I love the bioship.
Good girl.
Yeah.
I'm like,
this is when we hit the intro.
Yeah, like literally. I was actually surprised because Dick is never like go kind of thing. It's just like, hey, we're doing this. Okay, hey, little banter, no, it was just like, nope, no banter. We're doing it.
Yep,
go.
Start the mission and go.
Yep.
They fly the spaceship as fast as they can. Forager,
in the Earth's upper atmosphere.
Yep, Forager wants to drive, but Connor's like, hey, it takes a lot of time. But then Battleship just gives Fred the control.
Battleship is like, yes, sir.
Yeah, and Fredbug, aka Forager, just rubs the orbs
just
seductively.
Forager in this episode.
Forager rubs the orbs seductively of the bioship and says, good girl. Once again, it's very weird.
And Connor's just like, okay, whatever.
Yep.
He's like, yep.
Dick goes over the entire plot so far that we can deduce. The goggles are made by the good company to test for metas, and then they are given directions and brainwashed into going to trafficking depots, like Beast Boy was.
Like Beast Boy was about to. And of course, they also link because of the good goggles, knowing and what they can do. Because of Beast Boy telling him what's going on, they link Gretchen Good to her nickname, Granny Goodness.
Because she was mentioned during the mission with Batman. This is when they say that all the hero teams are working together. Jefferson's upset about that because we actually find out, the League, Batman Inc., the Young Justice team, and us outsiders all working together to take down these places. Jefferson's like, I left the League. I don't want to be with them. And
it's like, cool. You're not. You're still part of us.
Yeah, McGann got the information from Beast Boy. She gave it to the League. Then Batman gave us the information about Granny Goodness from Batman Incorporated, and that's why we're working on this part.
So it's like a very one-timey. Well, it sounds like it's gonna be like a one-timey collab thing going on.
Yep, and this is what I say. Also, the beginning of the season, the assassinations all started in Bialia from last episode batch. The guy who was killed worked on good products, and that is why that they know that those are connected once again.
What?
And also the Terra mission when he was killed in Bialia during. We see that Oracle is at a computer saying that she has information on the people who are having an auction to buy them. I pointed out a not highlighted at all, but incredibly important, Court of Owls masks.
That's what those were.
Yeah.
See, I knew they were something.
Yeah.
I just couldn't place my finger on them.
Yeah,
because I don't know the Court of Owls very well.
Yeah, it is an ancient evil group that's been all underground Gotham stuff and related directly to Dick Grayson's parentage.
Yeah, and you know how they found out where the auction's going to be? The dark web.
Yeah, of course, the dark web. Why not? We also, there's going to be at a mall in Bialia, and Tara is a Geoforce having young teen, 15, blonde female, is the lead that they have to that mall, and she is a product being sold there.
Yep.
the Happy Harbor, back then with that group, Violet is very upset that Brion is gone, and
like to the point where she's legitimately freaking out.
Yeah, she apologizes to Vic, but Vic's just like,
hey,
just fine.
Hey,
I don't care.
Pretend I'm not here. Yeah. And of course,
she starts freaking out and saying, "What if Brion dies? What if Brion dies?" Jace comes and says, "Hey, I used to comb my daughter's hair," and she's just like, "You had a daughter?" Like, yeah, but I lost. She's no longer with us. Very vague, but she begins. she offers to brush Violet's hair.
Yep, brushes her hair, and of course, Violet starts calming down a little bit.
Cyborg goes off. Yeah, they calm down. It's a very cute scene.
And then of course when of course Helga makes the fact known that the mother box part of you is not used to all of these human emotions.
Yeah, you're vulnerable.
And immediately Victor's cyborg stuff turns purple again. It's just like, oh really kind of thing.
Yep, our main villain once again, and this is when
we get the great. Karak.
Yeah, this is way back. No, Bialia. How dare you?
Greater Bialia.
There's no Karak anymore. It's all Greater Bialia now.
Yeah.
The team leads in what is it? Like a bug, so they can see what's inside going on.
Yeah, he does one of those Dick left one of those oracle bugs go.
Yeah, and this is when we see the inside with all the Quarterfile masks in the abandoned mall. Queen Bee security metas, who we've seen 100 times, we find out that they're called Onslaught.
Yep, the Onslaught team.
Terra Twins, Icicle Jr., Simon, Devastation, Shimmer, and Mammoth. There's a very weird, connection between all this stuff that I want to go over at the end of the episode, which is very funny.
Right. But
the MC comes out. Mr. Bliss is a Starman villain.
A Starman?
Yeah,
villain?
and
who's Starman?
Don't ask. It's a long
story.
Oh,
okay.
A DC superhero that's not shown up in this series yet, but yeah, Starman is the.
Yep, Starman's like, ladies and gentlemen.
No, Mr. Bliss is the.
Mr. Bliss, sorry.
Mr. Bliss, yeah.
Anyway, Mr. Bliss is like, hey, welcome one and all. Now we're gonna show you some of our goods.
Meta products.
In one corner we have
Holocaust. Now, this is my second favorite supervillain named Holocaust. I'll say. Goes by Pyre most of the time for obvious reasons.
Right.
And he is a huge, big-time Milestone villain. Milestone is where Static, Icon, Hardware, and Rocket are from. He's a super, super big deal, one of the top villains in that world, like Lex or Joker. He's, super powerful and important in that group of people.
And of course, he's fighting against
Terra.
Yeah, Terra Markov.
Yep. I think they call her Terra.
Yep. I think they actually say her name.
Terra Markov?
Yeah. And then of course, oh no, you're right. It's just Terra.
Yeah, but then the team is watching. Brion, of course, freaks out that his sister's gonna have to fight this dude.
And Superboy's like, look, listen, it's good that you want to save her, but you got to realize Simon's down there.
Yeah, and
if you show any strong emotion or something like that, he'll be able to read your mind, and he'll know we can't have our cover blown.
Yep. This is when we cut back to the house. Cyborg is once again evil, and Wolf tries to jump him, but gets knocked away. Violet is too upset to cleanse Vic, and her powers are not working.
And they've abandoned her.
Yeah.
Now she needs to die, Abomination.
Yeah.
And I like this part, because it gets to, old slasher film kind of thing, but where she's running away and
before that it comes back to the auction now.
Right.
The auction team infiltrate in Quarterfile's masks. Simon is scoping out the place, but when Holocaust defeats Terra, Brion immediately gets pissed and is like, oh, we gotta do something. And then Simon begins to sense him, but Black Lightning sends a current and knocks out Simon. And Devastation tells everyone, get on guard. We gotta stop this.
Alright,
something's going on.
Hold on a second, though.
Yep.
I have to point this out. Devastation in Season 1 got kind of flirty with Simon.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that it actually went somewhere.
I know, God, Simon's so lucky.
She's just like, baby! I'm like, oh
They're
no.
Very touchy-feely.
This is actually kind of adorable. I'm not gonna lie.
Very ridiculous. It's
anyway, but so they're on high alert now.
Yep, Terra loses, and Mr. Bliss says Holocaust wins, and not to kill her, even though everyone's bidding, because she still has a lot of worth.
Yep, she's still got some value.
The team buys her for 500,000 USD, and they enter her into a car, which Brion reveals it's him, and they hug.
Yep, and they hug, and they're back.
It's a very quick scene. I was like, wow, that was really easy.
Yeah, right. I was just like, huh.
Yeah, I was like, that was simple. At the harbor, Cyborg goes full Terminator, I said in my notes.
Yeah, you're right, he did.
Yeah, he goes for her, but Vic is trying to struggle and hold control. She hides in the bathroom. He's stomping, breaking through doors, and going after crazy like her.
Oh, and one of my favorite scenes, she closes the doors, and it gets all quiet. come out, wherever you are. I'm like, really? You're going with that one?
Yeah, it's so good.
It's all good,
but like Vic holds him off. She runs by and says, "No, I have to get control of myself." She once again does, and she says she is stronger now and cleanses him once again for good this time.
Yep, cleanses him for good.
Yep.
But then of course back with Brion and the others.
Yeah, Brion takes off the control chip, frees her, and she says that she knows about their parents because the people holding her kept making fun of her, mocking her about it.
Yep. And then of course, as all of this is happening,
the rest of the team is gearing up to go back in stealth gear and save the rest of the kids.
Yep. And then of course it is like, Forager, stay with the ship. You two, Brion and Brion, Terra,
stay here.
Yeah, you just stay here. We're gonna go down and we're gonna save everyone.
Yep, this is when Black Lightning cuts the power and they begin to sneak in. Forager begins to make a distraction by firing on the building from outside.
Yep, and then
Devastation watches her boo Simon and tells the Terra twins, go check the kid, watch the kids.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I like all of these
they've all
design,
had really good,
really good design changes. Yeah, I love these design changes.
I like this whole group of characters because they were like, I liked how recurring they were in the first season.
Right, yeah.
But
I'm glad they're back in this. But yeah, I also like it's like season 3 and they all had like design changes.
Yeah, they're all super crazy looking. But yeah, the Terra twins watch the kids. Mammoth, Shimmer, go outside.
And Icicle Jr.
Yep, and Junior go and check. Jefferson is out front, and this is when Icicle and Connor have a very funny catch-up fight.
I like it because
this is wonderful.
see, I said this in season 1. I'm gonna say this again. Icicle Jr., be a good guy. You and Connor are actually buddies.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Like, he's like, what? You think I've forgiven you for him again? And it's like, oh, probably not. But hey, we're engaged now. And even Icicle Jr. is like, dude, seriously, that's awesome.
That's awesome. This is a really cool fight.
I'm like, oh, come on, Ice, be a good guy.
Dick and Artemis free the kids and are ready to fight the Terror Twins when Black Lightning comes and knocks them both out. He tries it on Devastation and she's like, come on.
Hey, come on, really? And then, of course, that's when Black Lightning starts to turn up the heat.
Yeah, but this is outside. Connor takes out Shimmer, and then Mammoth attacks the ship, and it's a pretty crazy fight.
Yep, and then while on the ship, meanwhile, Terra and Brion are like, hey, look, we gotta help them.
Yeah, the other metas need help, and they're all slaves like she was, and she says, like, they've done awful things to us, and we need to stop it. The Terra Twins wake up, and they start fighting Dick and Artemis, while Connor takes on Mammoth.
Yep. It's
a very cool fight scene, very, very good. I love, like, Dick trying to take out the Tommy Tuppence.
Oh, right.
Tommy and Tuppence are great. Terra and Geoforce arrive, and they help take out the Terror Twins outside the bioship, and Connor finally beat Mammoth by, like, shooting out the back of his legs and making him fall.
Oh, yeah, he's like, bioship, it's like maneuver whatever. Shoots, like, his Achilles heels, and then when Mammoth goes down, it's just like, BAM!
Yeah, they knock him out. It's great. Everyone's on board, and then Devastation's like, oh, not so fast, and then finally Black Lightning does
Black Lightning's like, oh yeah, and Devastation's like,
yeah, I
can handle anything you can handle, you can throw at me. And Black Lightning's like, good. And he like, I don't know if it's all out or not, but it's pretty close to it.
He goes super heavy on here, it's really, really cool. They leave, and back to the harbor, McGann says that all the bases were stopped and all the teens are now safe at the youth centers.
Yep.
Cyborg tells them that Violet took care of the Father Box for good.
Yeah, permanently stopping Father Box's influence.
Mm-hmm. Terra commiserates with Dr. J, saying, I know that you had no choice, son. My uncle would have killed you. It's a very nice scene. Geoforce introduces Violet to Terra, saying it's his girlfriend.
And, of course, Violet is super happy about
this. It's a great, adorable scene. Jace shows Connor the destroyed house. He's like, oh, God, Car's going to be so
yeah, Megan's going to kill me.
Yeah.
But then we see, as everything's going around, Dick is like, you know what?
But before that, this is the scene I was talking about. Jace surreptitiously picks up the brush that she was brushing Violet's hair with.
This is true.
No, it literally cuts away and like shows her bending down, picking up the brush. I'm like, okay, Jason's what I think she is.
No, I see the scene you're talking about now. Yeah. I see how.
I'm like, okay, Jason's up to some shit. But the Dick says, all the newbies are doing great, and says you guys are actually ready to be a real team.
Well, no, he says it to Artemis. He's like, I think they're ready to be part of the team.
Yep.
Then we cut to Star City where.
It's the next morning.
Yeah, it's the next morning in Star City.
Yep.
Where we see, Halo is still floating up.
Yep.
And we see Terra's on the couch. She wakes up, stretches a little bit, looks around, looks up kind of thing, gets a phone out and starts texting. Cut to Santa Prisca, where you see Slay just like walking around. You see he hears something on his phone and he looks, and all of a sudden you see like the 3 dots, and then all you get is a text that says, I'm in. And then Slade smiles, and that's where the episode
And the
cuts.
episode ends, and it's woo crazy.
Yes, it is.
It's very, very cool. It's
my goodness.
Great batch of episodes. I'm super hyped to keep going.
So am I.
But the weird thing about these episodes I wanted to point out, this team, each episode, did you notice brother and sisters teams?
Oh, yeah.
Tommy and
the
twins.
Tuppenses, yeah.
Mammoth and Shimmer are brother and sister.
Are they?
Yeah. Geoforce and Terra are brother and sister.
They are.
And I was just saying, wow, that's a really weird coincidence.
See, I didn't know about Mammoth and Shimmer.
Yeah,
I didn't know because Shimmer's always with Mammoth.
They were twins.
I never.
And when before he first turned, when he was human, they were both like twins.
Yeah,
like,
I missed that little detail.
Yeah. But I was saying, like, what's your favorite DC superhero sibling pair?
Sibling pair?
Yeah.
Ugh.
You have the Wonder Twins.
The Wonder Twins.
They're fantastic.
Are they DC technically?
They are because they had a very funny episode in Teen Titans Go.
Honestly, because I don't know very many of them.
No.
And I really don't want to have to make my list full of Batman because I do need to expand my DC knowledge and stuff like that. Honestly, when it comes to siblings, I really do have to go with Geoforce and Terra,
yeah.
and not just because I know Terra from Teen Titans, but like in this case, it's just Breon. I thought he was going to be one of those, like, oh, you know, he's royalty kind of thing, snobbish. Right. No, he actually is kind of, like, humble.
Yeah.
And, well, even though he was a clone, pretty much like a clone of Connor, a.k.a. he's the angry guy, he at least is still starting to learn, like, more and more. And now Terra is involved. Yeah. Like, Terra is now finally in this, and she still has her power, but it's the part of, it's the moment in Terra's life where she's bad.
Yeah, she's already evil, and I'm like, I'm also knowing all the common stuff that goes with the Judas contract and all the other arcs with her. The whole thing is that she like is literally in love with Slade, like in love. And I'm very curious what they're gonna do with that angle in this.
Isn't she a kid?
Yeah, yeah, and that's a whole other angle of that craziness.
See, I would have. Okay, I know. In season 2, Slade definitely looked like the Witcher. With
He's very old, yeah.
like with the long ponytail and everything like that. So I don't mean to make this like a whole Witcher thing. I thought it would be more like a Ciri and Geralt kind of thing.
It was only vague in the Teen Titans show, but like it's a weird. She's always like coming on to him constantly in the comic arc, which the Teen Titans original show was based off of, the Judas contract, where she betrays the whole team because she loves Slade, is like a whole running thing. There was an animated movie of
the Judas contract.
Yeah, of like her being all over him. And now immediately, first time we see she's evil, she's immediately contacting him. I'm like, I'm curious how far they're going to go with this weird, crazy backstory of a character.
It's season 3. They can get away with a lot of
They can do crazy, but I'm looking forward to how weird it's going to get.
Please tell me it's one of those things where Slade's just like,
of course no, he's just like,
good.
Fine.
Well, yeah, I know, but I know, but still, I don't know if he's like violent towards her.
No. He's like, she's like a very useful, helpful person for him. Okay. But like, brother sister teams, I probably would give it to the Wonder Twins just because they're so silly.
They are.
Also, the weird version that was in Justice League, the two of them, that was really funny.
Now my turn to ask you a question.
Yep.
We've seen quite a bit of this season now.
Oh yeah.
This is going to be a very odd question, but I'm going to ask it like this anyway. Who do you want to see that you have a feeling is not going to make an appearance?
I was going to say what I want to see. I believe I already, once again, the freaking DC app showed in the next episode Big Barda is coming, and I was just like, ooh!
but again...
But who do I not think I'm going to see at all?
But you do want to see.
I don't think Batwoman's going to make another appearance. I don't think Renee's going to get any lines.
Who has never made an appearance.
I guess, saying Sobek or Black Adam Jr., his little...
Oh, his son?
Not his son, it's his technically brother-in-law, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But like, he's a little kid, and he's like, it's a bit of his powers, so he's a pretty cool character. I think I'm going to see... I want to see non-yellow or green lanterns.
Any of it.
Any red or orange or...
Then again, we don't know if they're ever going to make an appearance or not, so...
Sinestro is already in the show, and I think he has the actual Yellow Lantern core outfit.
But he's yellow.
Yeah, or any other Yellow Lanterns, because there's a lot of really cool characters that are Yellow Lanterns.
See, for me, if I were going with that one, I would say any lantern that isn't yellow or green, because every DC thing, visual media like this that it's always yellow or green. They
I was
don't
gonna
do
say
the other ones.
the 3D Green Lantern TV show that was airing the same time as the second season of Young Justice. It was there wasn't yellow lanterns at all. It was red and green were the two primary ones. Yeah, and the whole thing is like a Red Lantern joins his crew and he's just like with them the whole series. But like I would love to see I'd love to see any of them like.
You just want to see the best Red Lantern.
Mira?
Yeah.
Atrocitus or Mira would be great. Bleeze, the cat Dextar, he's hilarious.
Dextar, that's the cat.
Yeah, I'd love to see Larfleeze, the Orange Lantern, or any of the blue.
For me, personally, the two that I kind of want to see, but I have a feeling are not going to appear. One of them is Etrigan. The demon Etrigan. I like that one. Hold on a second. Crap, because there was another one that I had. It was a pretty good one. I lost it.
I'm about to say, technically, with Demon Knights, there's a bunch of them that, like, between Raish, between Vandal, and Etrigan, who's a member of the team, I'd love to see Sir Houston, the weird androgynous knight, and then, like, the Amazon who's with them. I'd love to see that whole crew pop up. They're all fantastic. But, like, yeah, I'm loving Season 3. I have no idea where it's going. This is the halfway point, I believe.
Yeah, I think we actually hit that.
Oof, I'm a goof. I cannot wait.
Oh, no, yeah. So, but yeah. So, you know me. At the moment, I'm working on a few things. At the point of this recording, at least.
Yeah.
I'm working on a few things, and I don't have any plugs. But you, on the other hand...
Matthew Lewis P on Twitter, Matthew Lewis Podcasts on Patreon and YouTube, and then the Forgotten Minotaur King going strong as of still. That's all me on my part. I'm looking forward to more of this show. I'm looking forward to more Korra. I'm looking forward to our next series because we're coming to winding down on this one.
Yeah, we're winding on this one. And of course, we'll get back to you on as to what that is when we have a final decision.
Oh yeah. All right, guys. Keep it sleazy.